We are with Elliott Wilson.
Yes.
The man, the myth, the icon.
Yes. I'm glad we're finally doing this.
It's about time, man. It's about time. But seriously, like, there's a lot of things like I'm impressed with your career about. You started Ego Tripping in '94.
Yep.
You worked on the source from '92 to '98.
No, 96 to 98.
All right, 96 to 98. And then from 99 to 08, you worked as the editor-in-chief of XXL.
Very long time.
Very long time. That's epic. I was in high school doing most of that.
Yeah, that's the part that really trips me out, how like stages of people's lives was going on. Like if you were really like from 14 to 21, I was like your editor, I was the magazine you were reading.
Pretty much.
That shit scares me.
You know
what's
what's crazy was I remember the first time I got a blowjob in my car. The source letter to the editor-in-chief letter was the first one you wrote, so I was just sitting back, bloop, 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 bloop. And I'm like, I didn't want to read it while she was like in the act.
That's gentlemanly.
No, it's not. Chivalry's dead. But honestly, so let's talk about from when you left the source to how you got to XXL, and was it like the Brett Favre wanted to go to the Vikings and just destroy Green Bay? Like how was it, seriously?
Well, I got fired from the source. No, did I get fired? Yeah, no, technically I did quit. It's always murky when I leave a magazine.
It's like a WWF storyline.
No, because I remember leaving the building and I called the CFO and it was like, well, did you resign? Did you get fired? So I ended up, I guess I technically did resign from the source, but it was a argument with Dave Mays about the Corrupt album. It was an album called Corruption, ironically enough. And, at that time I did the mics, and I thought the mics were the most important thing ever.
They were.
And I was very adamant about trying to keep the purity of that in the industry, fuck the industry. And, so I wanted to give Corrupt 3 mics, and I think it ended up being like 3.5 or something. And he had changed maybe a cannabis rating or Shaq. Like, they had fuck with the mics, which they had never did before. So I saw it, a copy of it, and I got really upset, and it's like, didn't Dave call you? I told Dave to call you and all that. Dave didn't call me, so I was like, he doesn't respect me. So I left in a huff. And then thankfully, Ego Trip was still off and running, and we had to deal with to do the book of Rap List, the first book we
got
did.
that book.
Yeah, we feel it's the greatest book about hip hop ever written.
It's the Bible.
Yeah. So I basically, when I left the source, I threw myself into working on that book, and then I looked up in the summer of '99. And I think this doesn't get said a lot. John Schechter, who's the founding editor-in-chief of The Source, wonderful white man from, he's in Las Vegas right now too. He goes by Shecky Green. He recommended me to the powers that be at XXL, somebody they should talk to. They hollered at me, we sat down, and I was like, you know what, this is something I feel like I could do. But I was very adamant about trying, you have to give me creative control to do the magazine. If it doesn't work, give me a couple issues. If it doesn't work, we'll shut it down, but give me the ball and let me rock. And they did that, and the great thing about my run at XXL, which is why everyone wants me to like say bad things about them or try to seem bitter about that because I left the source on bad terms. The reality is that XXL gave me a tremendous opportunity to do the magazine that I wanted to do. I had a tremendous amount of creative control of the magazine, which is really hard when you're dealing with corporate shit. So basically, a lot of what I've done in my career, I've got to run. Whether it was doing the mics at the source or running XXL, run it like it's my own little magazine.
Does it sadden you now that magazines are losing their lackluster? Because you started in print. Yeah. And now you crossed over to the digital era with the whole viral marketing thing and all of that stuff.
Radar, yeah.
But do you feel like it's a little sad that people won't buy a magazine and look at the journalism, the integrity of the journalism? And like the actual writing and like the process of what goes into the heart and soul of the magazine, because I know Vibe, just
very sad that
it's such a great magazine too.
Well, a lot of magazines, I always say, they may not be selling as much as they were selling back in the golden era when I was running magazines too, and maybe like 4 or 5 years ago before the economy really got bad and we were affected by it. But most magazines are still selling enough to stay in business. But the model that's set up in terms of the money that you would need on the business side with advertising, there's not enough there. So therefore you have to have, it's hard to be a bigger magazine right now. I think what's gonna happen is you're gonna have more like niche, like smaller books, and maybe it's time for people to launch new brands and and change the landscape of it, There was a big revolution where those books came about in the 90s. Now we're in the 2000s, It's like, so part of what I'm doing with Rap Radar is using the power of the internet, which is very, cheaper to put something out, and build an audience. And maybe one day I could do a Rap Radar magazine or a Rap Radar radio or Rap Radar television, you know? So I think it's about the kids now looking for new brands, and I think it's up for the people in media to come up with new brands that are going to connect with them, and it's about building something smaller at first. So I think the model has just changed, and just like the record companies, we're going to have to adjust to it.
Why did you start Rap Radar initially for? Like, what was the reason why that you wanted to, like, you know, corner the internet market?
I wanted to create a new brand. I felt like I could do, it could combine the two things. It could create a new brand like the way I created Ego Trip with my partners in that, and also like Double XL on a daily basis document the culture. You know, I miss documenting the culture. It's as simple as that. And I felt like I still had a lot to say about the culture and the day-to-day of it, and still had the interest and the drive to cover it. So how do I create my own company and try to create a new standard on it? Like, I basically want to be eventually the authority that people look to this source as look at Rap Radar as the most trusted source on this culture. You know, that's ultimately the goal.
What's going on with you writing the New Testament, aka the Jay-Z book? I'm calling it the New Testament now. Like the Ego Trip book was the Old Testament. Now this is the New Testament. So what's going on with that? Are we doing it? Are we not? What's the deal?
Yeah, well, there's a deal that I've had since our Kingdom Come days.
See, Bible references.
Yeah, so there you go. Nah, you know, it's like detox. You know, it'll come when it's good enough, in my own judgment of it.
It's your Abbey Road, pretty much.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You know, somebody let it be, and Phil Spector's gonna add the strings to it and shit. Nah, no one knows what we're talking about.
Yeah,
but no, I mean, I want to do it. I feel I'm the best to do it. He's now got some kind of book deal I'm hearing where he's gonna do some book about his lyrics. I'm not involved with that project. My book is technically unauthorized, but you know, I do have a great rapport with him, and I have a lot of authorized content and interviews that I've done over the years. So it's really up for me to put it all together and make it make sense and tell his story. You know, and I think that I'm not into autobiographies or memoirs. I think that you need somebody outside of yourself to tell your story, you know, so you can be honest and cover all sides of it. So, you know, I think that I'm the most qualified to do it, and one day I'm going to prove it.
You also coined the term flip cam rapper.
Yeah.
Do you feel though like if there's an oversaturation in media now, where anybody that has a flip cam or some type of camera, like they're gonna like they oversaturate and you get too full? Like what's digestible?
It's funny how everybody wants to be media now. Now media is the coolest shit. Everybody has a mic. Everybody has a camera.
Like this.
Yeah. No,
right
but
now.
I mean, but you're obviously a student of the game, and you're a smart dude.
Student of the game. You hear that?
But I'm just saying, every artist thinks that they could do, I won't say an artist's name, but you know what I mean. Anybody, like, you know.
I got you. No,
like, you know, yourmama.com, and like he becomes a media entity, and no, you're not. Like, so, you know, part of it could be promo, but at the same time, if the value's not there continually, no one's really gonna follow it. So it gives everybody the power now. Right now you could break something on Twitter without being a journalist. You know, you could be in a meeting at Atlantic Records and get some scoop on the Jay-Z project, and then run to your Twitter and say it. So then now you're the person quoted of note. That, you know, the promo guy says Jay-Z's coming out, whatever. So he, you know, we're gonna pull quote your tweet and put it out there, and you're the one that broke it. So it gives everybody a chance. But I just think at the end of the day, as oversaturated and as competitive as it is, there's still an influx of quantity over quality. And I think the true people, the true talents will survive, which is why I'm still out here. Which is why I'm still here to mess up your day.
So it's your boy Emilio Sparks for Daps.tv, the Rap Radar headquarters. This is my Disney World. There's like so much cool shit around here. There's whole WWE toys.
Don't steal nothing, Emilio.
No, I'm gonna donate actually. I've never been to Disney World, so this is what I assume Disney World looks like. But seriously.
And shout out to the boy Pressure, my little brother, man. So he told me this guy's a special guy, so I'm with him right now.
But seriously, I appreciate your time. Thank you. I know you're a busy dude. For Daps.tv, it's your boy Emilio. You want to do that? You want to do the panel? All right.
And that Cameron interview, if you haven't checked that out yet, check out your boy Emilio with his interview with Cameron in Staten Island.
Thank you very much. You got to come out to Staten now, though.
I'm coming. That's the next thing, man.
We'll do it. My mom will cook pasta.
I got to do the podcast.
Yeah.
Do the podcast with you guys.
My mom will make Sunday dinner.
There you go.
You like sauce and stuff? Frank Sinatra music, everything Italian?
You have to say pause after that?
No, you don't.
I like sauce.
All right.
No sauce money, no. But
I
like sauce money. Duck sauce. It's all good. I'll eat. But we'll do the podcast. We'll have some good food.
And then my mom will make some
Staten
food,
Island style.
All right. So we'll be back for Daps.tv. It's your boy Emilio Sparks, chilling with YN at the amazing like Disneyland and of hip hop. We'll be back. Keep it tuned.